Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the Gjallarhorn in Destiny 2. If you guys do enjoy this video, please do drop it a like so more people can see it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss any future content. We cover a variety of games, including Destiny here on the channel, and we're going to be covering the Witch Queen as well. So the Gjallarhorn, not too easy to get because you got to actually go through the dungeon, and this is paid DLC, by the way. So just keep that in mind. You actually have to buy the 30th anniversary pack, and the majority of this video is going to be showing you guys how to get through the dungeon. The first thing you're going to do is actually go to the Cosmodrome, and you're going to actually talk to that guy, Sean, I guess is his name, S-H-A-N. You're going to talk to him to get the quest initially, and once you get the quest, you're going to be able to start the dungeon. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the dungeon right now. So when you do load into the dungeon, you're going to be in Skywatch in a Cosmodrome, and you're going to be having these enemies around here that you're going to have to kill. It's going to be all based around the loot cave. If you guys remember the original loot cave in Destiny 1, that's where we're basically going to be going to advance. But what we're going to have to do is kill the enemies, and they're going to drop these orbs. Now pay attention to these orbs because we're going to be using them a lot throughout this game, or throughout this dungeon. So when you pick them up, you get about 28-29 seconds of this kind of buff. It's not really a buff, it's kind of like, I guess, the opposite of a buff, because when it runs out, it's going to kill you if you don't pick up an orb. So you got two different things you need to do. You either need to pick up an orb before the time runs out in order to reset that timer, or you got to go deposit them. Now the place you're going to deposit them is this crystal that's going to be in the loot cave. Now the thing that makes this part difficult is that you're going to have to actually go and fight through some of the enemies that are spawning in the caves. You're going to try to wipe out as many enemies as you can and push your way through into the cave, and you'll see kind of like this crystal in the back there, and once you go kind of to the crystal, it's going to basically deposit the orbs into the crystal, the essence, I guess. It's going to do so automatically. You don't have to do anything, just stand by it, and it's going to eventually build up the crystal the more that you deposit these orbs into it. So once you're basically out of orbs, go kill some more enemies, repeat the cycle, and keep doing that until the crystal is fully built. And once it is fully built, you're going to see that right by the crystal, there's going to be the floor that's going to kind of cave in, and you're going to be able to advance to the next part of the dungeon. So this part is really, really simple, honestly. Just follow my path, kind of jump around this corner here, and for the most part, you're just following a direct path. I'm just going to do a couple cuts right here just to kind of cut out, fighting these enemies. You're going to defeat that Shrieker. Once you do that, you're going to basically head down this path right here. Also, ignore the fact that I have the galley equipped. I came back to record this section because I forgot to record it in my first playthrough. You're not supposed to actually have the G-horn. This was my second playthrough. So you're going to continue here basically down the path. You can't really miss it. It's just a direct path right here. I'm going to speed up this next section so you can see how it is in its entirety, but not, use up too much of your time. So again, just direct path, follow the way I am going all the way to the very end until we get to the next section where it's going to pop up with the next new objective. So this next section, Bungie was definitely trolling. You're going to go into this door here, hit the switch, watch that little pressure plate on the floor. If you hit it, it's going to kill you. Activate that switch, just basically hop on those counters, and that's going to open up this door over here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go through this tunnel. You're going to hop over here. Be careful, this is a trapdoor that's going to fall, but that's okay because we want to actually go right over here, not across. You're going to activate this switch, and there's a couple different ways you can get back across. You can either go over here. Do not activate that switch or you will die. Again, do not activate that. We're heading back towards the main area because we got some new areas that have unlocked. Now we're going to jump up here, follow my lead. We're going to jump all the way up top to this section here. Ignore the fact that I am a complete noob. Let's try that again. Let's go back up here, and now there's 6 open kind of tunnels. You're going to want to go to the furthest one on the right. You can see it right there. So we're going to jump all the way over there. If you go into any of the other ones, there are trap doors that are going to kill you. This is not a trap door. This is actually a good switch to hit. So hit the switch, and the roof is going to open up, and we're going to basically head straight here. So follow my lead, jump up here, watch the switch to the left. You want to jump to the right of that. These are trap floors. You can run across them technically, but they will open up just as you see there. And then we're going to make our way over here, and we're going to go ahead and activate this switch right here that's going to open up this trap door. All right, so we're going to go through this trap door, and honestly, this is very, very simple. What you're going to want to do is go to the closest open door. Do not go to the right there. There's a switch, a trap switch. You're going to want to go ahead to the left, clear the enemies. That's why I cut it real quick to try to clear some of the enemies for you guys. You're going to hit this switch, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to go back up the path that we just came from, and now the first door that we came through is shut, and this door is open. So that's basically how we're going to be doing this, right? We're going to go through one door, we're going to hit a switch, and then, every room is going to basically have 2 doors. The one that we came came in through. There's going to be one that's shut that's going to open when we hit the switch. So we're going to clear this room as well. Go ahead and get that done. And then we're going to hit this switch as well. What that's going to do, it's going to close the door that we just came through right here to the left. So we're going to want to go head over to the right. I was a little paranoid when I was going through this, so please excuse my kind of slow caution. We're going to jump up here and we're going to jump straight across to this next open door, and basically, again, just like the other rooms, go through it, but this one's a little bit different. The switch is just right here, and we're going to look up to the roof, and that's going to open up the roof. So there's no door there. We're going to look straight up, and you can see we're going to pop through the roof, and if we hang to the left, there's another switch. So we're going to go ahead and hit this switch here. Again, I was a little paranoid when I was doing this. Most of this run was me figuring out how to do this kind of first try on my own, not watching, you know, any other guides. There were no other guides as far as I know at the time of recording this, and all that good stuff. So again, all we're going to do at this point, and the reason why I'm kind of, you know, making it go fast, there's a shrieker there, kill it, is because we're just going to backtrack. We're going to do everything we did except backwards until we get back to this kind of starting location. And now you can see that this big door is open. So we're going to clear out this room of all of the enemies. We're going to head to the back, and there's going to be another switch there. Again, you don't have to be paranoid. There obviously was no trap doors. I didn't know this when I was first going through it, but you know that now. This room specifically, I didn't see any trap doors, so you're good. So you're going to hit that, and what that's going to do, it's going to open up the opposite side. So again, go through all of the rooms to head back to the other side of this. It's not too hard. Again, we've already been through this once. Once we get over here, we're just going to hop over here. We're going to kill these enemies. So again, a quick little cut just to kill them. Once they're dead, we're going to go ahead and go through here, and we're ready for the next section. Do not go to the door to the left. It's a trick. You will die. Go to the one on the right, and that will open up the next section, which we're going to head down into this kind of new area, which is a new section. I think there's a check. Yeah, there's a checkpoint right there where we had the two doors. That's where the checkpoint is going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear the enemies there. There's going to be a wizard. They do some pretty hard damage, so just be careful. Again, I'm probably not using the best weapons, to be quite honest with you guys, so clear them out. You can see right over there, there's a little device. We're going to actually hop over there right now. So there's a switch. You want to activate that switch. We're going to head all the way around to the opposite side. We're going to clear out the enemies. That's why there's a quick cut there. We're basically jumping over on this little ledge, and we're going to go to the back of the room and activate this switch right here. You can actually see which doors open up when you activate the switch. I actually missed activating that, so I ended up having to go back to activate it. But once you do activate it, we're going to head over here, and we're going to go all the way back to where we were, to 0-1. There's going to be another wizard. Take out the wizard. We're going to jump over here and clear out the enemies again. So just let me quickly cut that again so we can clear out the enemies. And there's another switch back here. So I'm going to go back here. We're going to activate yet the other switch, and this one's actually going to open up 0-2. So we're going to have a quick cut because I got lost for a second, but 0-2 is right there to the left, as you guys seen. I ended up coming from the right because I went all the way around. You'll see the enemies right there, so it's no worries. There's a couple dregs and whatnot, and then you're going to kill the Scorch Vandal, because you need the Scorch Cannon. Now here's where there's going to be another mechanic you want to pay attention to. Okay, so we're going to go over here. We're going to head all the way back across from there to 0-4. This one's a little bit harder to get to, so be sure you make your jump. We're going to shoot inside of there. These are generators. You're going to be using that a lot. We're going to shoot inside of there, and we're going to charge up our cannon. You want to charge it up fully so there's enough power to open the door. If you don't charge it enough, the door is not going to open, and you're not going to be able to get in. So make sure you charge it fully so you can actually get in and go through the door. Now, when you're going up here, there's going to be one more troll. I will show you guys my death just for giggles. This thing's going to roll down and squash you. So what you're going to want to do, there's these two cutaways. You can see one right there to the left, and one right there also to the left. There's also ones across from them to the right. You go to the left or the right. So you can tuck in there to avoid that thing rolling on you, and then move on ahead, follow this path. It's very, very easy and simple to follow this path. But once you kind of hang around here and you see this truck right here, you're going to want to do a 180. I got lost real quick, so we're going to do a 180 around that truck, and there's a vent right here we're going to pop through. So we're going to hop into this vent. We actually want to hang a right. There's nothing to the left, so we're going to go down here to the right of the vent. Make sure you follow this path, and we're going to hop here, which is a spot where I got stuck for a little while. So I ended up just switching over to a triple jump with my hunter. That is the only way I could figure out how to get across here. So use whatever works, the sword method to kind of swing across, glide that will, glide across as best as possible. Like I said, triple jump works really well to make it across. And once you get across, we're going to be ready to start our next encounter, which is actually going to be our very first boss fight. So at this point, I ended up having my son jump in with me. Right there on the platform, you can see there was a crystal at the very starting area. If you paid attention to the beginning of this video, you know what that crystal's for. So all of the enemies except the thrall are going to drop the orbs, right? So essentially, you're going to want to go ahead and build up that crystal until it's fully built. Once it is, it's basically going to lower the shields of the ogre, however you pronounce its name. I don't know, the Insatiable or whatever. So I had my son help me at this part because I just couldn't, for the life of me, I couldn't do it solo anymore. So we ended up doing this part. So again, grab these orbs and go ahead and deposit them. There's the acolytes, the spawn right at the very beginning, and then what you're going to want to do is what my son was doing is there's a scorch cannon. So on the very back middle section, there's going to be a scorch vandal that's going to appear, and right above this wall, you'll actually see it in a second here. I'll show you guys an angle. There's a generator, right? If you paid attention a couple steps ago, there's these generators you got to shoot the scorch cannons into to power them up, and that's going to open up these doors, which you're going to go ahead and clear the enemies out, and you're going to go ahead and pick up all of those orbs. And then again, these enemies are going to respawn. If you don't have the scorch cannon anymore, then the scorch vandal is going to respawn. It won't respawn as long as you still have the scorch cannon, you still have ammunition in it. So then what you're going to want to do is the same thing but across on the opposite side. So I'm actually going ahead to deposit these while my son is going ahead and opening up the section for the next kind of area, right? So again, we're going to go over here. You can see that right there, there's all these orange tubes, and that's what's connecting to the generator. Again, it's just basically sitting above the doors. It's a generator. If it has an open hole in it, that's the one you have to shoot the scorch cannon into. If it doesn't have the open hole in it, then you know it's on the opposite side. And usually whatever side has the doors still open, like right now the doors are open on this side, then you know that the next time you're going to want to go across to the other side. And you're just going to basically rinse and repeat, going back and forth, collecting these orbs, depositing them into the crystal, making sure you keep an eye out on that timer, because again, if that timer runs out, you're basically in trouble because you're going to die, right? So make sure you keep an eye on that timer. Either go ahead and deposit them, because once you're at the crystal, the timer actually freezes. So as long as you're by the crystal, if you have 0.1 seconds left, it doesn't matter. It's going to freeze and pause while you're by the crystal. Also keep in mind, because in between these waves, thrall are also going to be spawning. So every time you clear a room, you're going to have some thrall to spawn on the outside from these caves near the crystal. So you want to pay attention to that. So you basically rinse and repeat this process over and over again until the crystal is fully formed. And once it's fully formed, it's going to lower the shields of the ogre. You're going to be able to do a damage phase. I recommend, at least at the time of recording this, using fusion rifles, because they're still really good with particle. So make sure you have that equipped, because it's going to do extra damage. And again, you could use whatever seems to do the most damage for you, but fusion rifles seems to be the best case. So again, basically do that, repeat the process over and over again, and once a damage phase is complete, you're just going to rinse and repeat these steps until the boss is dead, and you're pretty much good to go. It's really that simple. Again, if anything is not clear, you can leave a comment down below, and I'll do my best to clarify anything that maybe I didn't explain well enough. So once you get your loot, go ahead and proceed through the door. Follow my path right here. Again, it's pretty simple to find your way through here. It's not too difficult. So again, we're just going to go down through the tunnel, down the stairs. Again, very pretty much a straight path, a linear path, if you will. Again, I'm just showing you guys for sake of thoroughness, and we're going to make our way down to this shroud area. And now this section, you want to actually hit this switch on the left, not the right, because the right one's going to kill you, but you have to be very, very fast. This section is all going to be done with the Sparrow, and you have to be extremely fast. I didn't know that at first, because there's these mines, right? You can see point A is up there right now, then there's point B, point C, and finally point D. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to basically fly right through the zones. You actually don't need to slow down when you're going through the zones. There's just enough time if you have full speed boost going through these zones for it to hit 100. At first we thought, okay, we have to slow down, but no, you don't. So you're going to see I'm just going to fly through it. Well, my son actually flew through that one because I got a little bit stuck. And it hits the 100. So you don't have to slow down, just zoom right through and you're good to go. The other thing is through these paths, you're going to see these devices right there. I just passed one on the left corner. They have like a red light. They ended up turning green once you pass them, and they're going to give you a little bit of a bonus time to get to the next point. There's actually one right there to my right. So if you passed by them, it's like these little, I guess, bonus time checkpoints, whatever you want to call them. They'll give you a little bit more time to get to that next point. It's not going to give you any additional time for the next point. So for example, right now we were trying to go to C, so it's not going to give us more time for D because each one has their own timer. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to pass this one. That's going to give us a little bit of a boost. You can see the timer beside D actually went up a little bit. It's going to give us just enough time. My son ended up going on the portal to the left, which is probably the best one. What I did is I went to the one on the right. I didn't boost for a second, and then halfway through the air I boosted, and I ended up making it just in time, and that was pretty much the run. So just, it's trial and error. Keep trying it. It took us quite a few tries. Just try it again and again and again. Watch exactly how I did it right there. Follow my path, and you probably should be good to go, and you should be golden, and you'll be ready to carry on to the next section of this dungeon. So I apologize that the quality is not the best on this next section. I actually forgot to record it with my Elgato, and I had to go ahead and record it on my PlayStation and then capture it after that. So it might not be the best quality, but basically you're going to look up, you're going to go straight through that hole. You're going to basically find your way down here. Very, very easy to kind of navigate through here. It seems more complicated at first than it really is, but it's a pretty linear path as well. Just kind of follow through the path I'm going here. Crystal to crystal and whatnot, make your way through here, and you're pretty much at the next section, which is going to be the next kind of puzzle, if you will. So we're ready to start the next section once we get here. So for this next part, it's basically broken up into like islands. Let's say each island has like this launch pad, and there's a scorched vandal. You're going to find the scorched vandal, you're going to kill it, and you're going to find the generator linked up to the launch pad, right? You can easily find it by following that orange kind of cable that's at the launch pad, kind of backtracking it. That'll lead you straight to the generator. Again, with the scorched cannon, you're going to shoot it inside of it. You're going to charge it up, and you're just going to stand in the middle of the launch pad. You don't actually have to you don't have to jump into it or anything like that. You just stand there, and it's going to automatically catapult you in. Now, you can also rotate the cannon to face different ways. What we're trying to do is get towards the back left of the map, because that's where the enemies are going to first start spawning. We have to get to that location, at least for my run. I don't know if it changes every time, so if it does, just find whatever island there's enemies spawning. And I'm not talking about just the the scorched vandal. I'm talking about a big wave of enemies like you see on screen right now, because once you get here, you're going to kill all of the enemies. They're going to drop those burned by riches orbs. You're going to pick them up, and there's a crystal in the middle of each kind of island that you just see me walk by, and you're going to basically charge up the crystal till it's fully charged. There's a servitor, and charging up the crystal is going to drop its shields. You're going to kill the servitor, and it's going to turn basically into a ticking time bomb. You're going to see a time by it. You're going to roll it down to the launch pad, and what you're going to want to do is have it facing kind of like that big giant middle section. There's like this big giant I don't know what you call it. I guess it's a ship. It's called a fallen shield, and you're going to basically launch the dead servitor into that, and it's basically going to damage the fallen shield. That's what you're going to want to do. So you're going to rinse and repeat these sections. So once you do one section, you're going to kind of backtrack to the next island. Usually, from my experience, the portal is facing automatically the fallen shield. So you obviously destroy it with the or you damage it with the servitor, and then if you rotate it, it's going to kind of point you in the direction of the next island. Typically, if not, you just kind of maneuver your way through until you find the next island that has enemies spawning, and you repeat the process over and over again, right? Again, you kind of charge up that crystal, you go ahead, and once the servitor's shields are down, you destroy the servitor, you roll it over to the launch pad, you activate the launch pad with the scorched cannon, you shoot that servitor into the fallen shield, and you repeat the process until the fallen shield is completely depleted. That's all there is to it. And then you're going to go to this middle island, and there's going to be a launch pad that's kind of pointing up. You're going to go into that launch pad, and it's going to kind of shoot you right into the middle of that kind of fallen shield area, whatever that middle section is called, where there used to be a shield, I guess, but no longer is. And that's going to bring you to the next section of this dungeon. So once you do catapult into this next area, the path is pretty much linear. That's going to lead you up to this area here, Wilhelm's Horde. And this is going to be the final encounter, the final boss of this dungeon before we complete it. So let's go through that. So to start the encounter, head to the back middle section. There's a trick orb right there, and the boss will just spawn. Now take note that there was a crystal in the middle there, because we're going to be depositing orbs there. Now there's going to be a Scorched Vandal that's going to spawn off and on throughout this encounter, and you could technically go ahead and get the orbs that are required to deposit into that crystal right away, but you're not going to want to do that yet. The first thing you're going to want to do is clear out the 2 friends that the boss brought with him. So there's going to be a Shank right there, and there's going to be this other character. I don't know what the enemy's called off the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank, but he's basically this hooded character that kind of goes invisible off and on. You see him right there. I'm shooting at him right there. So you're going to want to destroy them. Now, I would highly recommend using fusion rifles. Obviously, at the time of recording this, if you're doing this after fusion rifles get nerfed, which I'm assuming they'll probably get nerfed, by the time Witch Queen comes out or something, then at that point, I don't, whatever the meta is, use that. But at the time of recording this, fusion rifles are super good, especially with particle equipped. So do that, and that's going to be your best bet. Now, I was not doing that in this gameplay because it took me a minute to figure out that, hey, I should be using something else, not wasting my 1K voices. So I ended up just equipping a secondary fusion rifle at some point, and that was melting them. That was doing way, way, way better. So do that. You have to clear them out. When you clear the second one out, they're going to drop some orbs. You can actually go ahead and pick those up and deposit them into the crystal. And then what you're going to want to do is there's going to be 2 sections on each side of the map, right? So if you're looking towards the middle from either the left side or the right side, there's going to be a generator. Now, in that generator is going to be where you're going to want to shoot the Scorched Cannon. Now, whatever one is open, right? So there's going to only be one side that's open at a time, and it's going to rotate back and forth. You can actually see it right there in the middle section of that kind of arc. So there's 3 arches, I guess, in the middle section, and in that middle arch on each side of it there is the generator. So that's where you're going to want to shoot the Scorched Cannon. Now here's the thing, the Scorched Vandals will spawn before you kill those 2 friendlies, but you can just use a Scorched Cannon to take out those 2 friendlies, as well as your fusion rifles or whatever you're using, because you do not want to spawn those orbs, because if those 2 friendlies are up, the Shank and the other guy, you're not going to be able to deposit the orbs in the crystal, and you're just going to get the burn effect. It's going to run out and it's going to kill you. So again, don't deposit any orbs until those 2 kind of characters are destroyed. Those 2 enemies rather are destroyed. Otherwise, you're going to have a really rough time. So that's what you're going to do. So basically what happens is when you shoot into that generator and you activate it, there's going to be 10 orbs that spawn, and they drop out of kind of like these, I don't even know what they're called. There's like these pods all around the map. They're going to spawn on each side, right? So if you're doing it at 2 players, then you can quickly kind of grab them. There's actually 3 spots. There's basically all the spots where ads spawn, right? So there's the left section, the right section, and the starting middle kind of section, right? When you first came into the map, that kind of middle area, there's going to be orbs that spawn in each of those sections. So technically you'll have 30 orbs spawn total, so you can go pick them up. If you're soloing it, then you got to be quick, because obviously they do explode after a while and they kind of go away. The other thing is that if you're doing duo, then one person on each side, and then whoever wants to grab the middle. And of course, if you're three playering it, then you can just one person on each point, right? And then you each take turns depositing the orbs, or you can do it at the same time, whatever works best for you. Just make sure you guys pay attention to that timer so it doesn't run out and you don't end up dying. So once you do that, the crystal's going to build, and you're going to basically repeat this cycle until the crystal's fully built. Once it's fully built, it's going to basically deplete the shields of the captain, the main boss, and you're going to have a damage phase. You're going to go ahead and damage the boss. Again, I highly recommend using fusion rifles, at least at the time of recording this, but use whatever works best for you. Supers, fusion rifles, rocket launchers, whatever works. Like I said, whatever seems seems to do the most damage, but at the time of recording this, it is fusion rifles like 1K, for example, and whatever secondary fusion rifle you want to bring with you. So do the damage phase, and then you're going to repeat the whole thing over again. His two friends are going to respawn. The Shank and that other kind of hooded enemy, they're going to respawn. You're going to have to kill them again, and then you're going to basically repeat the whole cycle, right? You're going to get the orbs. You're going to basically deposit the orbs in the crystal, deplete the shields by doing such, do another damage phase, and just repeat that until the boss is dead. It's really that simple. There's nothing that changes throughout the encounter. So as long as you keep doing that, eventually you're going to finish off the boss and you're going to be done the dungeon. So congratulations, go ahead and pick up your loot and go to the back middle here and collect the thing that's right here. My son told me about that last second. And then once you're done that, we're going to go ahead and talk to Shahan in the Cosmodrome. Once you talk to him, we're going to go to this lost sector here at the bottom right section of the Cosmodrome. This is the one that's going to have a lot of powerful fallen enemies. They're going to spawn. There's a bunch of servitors because we need to kill powerful fallen enemies to collect Wolfpack rounds. Now we're going to start with one because we got one from the dungeon, and so we're going to need 6 more. Now when you kill these powerful enemies, there's a chance for it to drop. So right there you've seen that I did get one to drop, but there's other ones that I end up killing and I didn't get it, but my son got it, and it was just, it's weird like that. So it's kind of a little bit RNG. You just got to kill them, but killing them doesn't guarantee a Wolfpack round to drop. So just go through this lost sector over and over again until you finish up all of your Wolfpack rounds. It probably will take 2 or 3 runs through this lost sector, and it's very easy to get through. And there are a lot of powerful fallen enemies to spawn in here. And once you do that, you're pretty much good to go, and we can continue this quest. So fly over to the tower and go speak to Banshee for the next part of this quest. You can pause the video and read the lore if you guys want to, or just read it on your own kind of, quest line. Once you get to that point, go ahead, pick up the trigger mechanism. And the funny part is we're actually going to have to head back to that lost sector we were just kind of farming at, because now there is quest step right there. So we're going to head through this lost sector. I'm going to just skip to the end. You're going to open up the chest after defeating the boss, and that's going to give you the next system, which is the targeting system. Head back to Shahan in the Cosmodrome and head kind of behind him to this little kind of cave area. Go to this box and reassemble the components right here. That is going to give you the nearly completed Gjallarhorn. Then we're going to have to go back and speak to Shahan once more, and once we do that, we're going to basically have our Gjallarhorn. So that's it. That's pretty much it. That's how you get the G-Horn in Destiny 2's 30th anniversary pack. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, be sure to leave it a like so more people can see it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I know this video was lengthy, but I wanted to try to explain as much as possible, and I hope I did that. Again, if you need clarification, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my very best to kind of help you guys out with clarifying anything that maybe wasn't clear enough. So again, hopefully that helps you complete the dungeon, get your Gjallarhorn in Destiny 2, and I will see you guys very soon in another one. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss any future videos. We're going to be covering the Witch Queen a lot when it comes out. It's going to be super fun. Make sure you share it with your friends and all that good stuff as well. Check out all the socials in the description below, and I'll see you guys soon in another one. Enjoy your Gjallarhorn, and until the next one, game on.